Let's look at the Veranda Post on display in the museum's African Gallery 103. In this gallery, there are artworks from different cultures in Africa, made mostly in the 19th and 20th centuries. There are many sculptures as well as utilitarian objects in this gallery. This is sculpted by a Yoruba master sculptor, Agunna of Oke Igbira, in the 20th century in southwestern Nigeria. It was purchased for the collection used the Lawrence Archer Wachs Fund in 2003. It was the 271st item in the collection that year. The post stands 4 feet tall and 10 inches, and the width is 7 inches, and the depth is 1 foot 3 inches. It is multiple shades of dark wood, as well as remnants of blue and white pigments. The post is made of one large piece of wood, and we can see the carve marks that make the angular and mostly geometric shapes that make up the figures. There are 2 large figures facing the front, and there are 8 smaller figures behind them. Some of these smaller figures facing the back, and others are facing the right side. All of these figures are stacked to form a column, separated into 2 sections by platforms. I'll describe the piece from top to bottom. The post is topped with a rectangular platform that is decorated on all sides with a braid pattern. On top of this platform, 2 diamond-like shapes face the front and back of the post. Under this, a large sculpture of a woman sits on a stool which is placed on a piece of wood. This woman's hair is darker than her brown skin. The stylized technique shows her head to be larger than her body's proportion. Her facial features are created with geometric shapes, and there are 3 vertical marks on her cheeks, appearing to be the traditional Yoruba face markings. She appears to be wearing bracelets and a skirt wrapped around her waist. Her hands are resting on her lap, where she holds a baby. The baby is blue, and its head faces front in its mother's left hand, and its knees drape over her right leg, with her right hand supporting it. On closer inspection of this woman, we see small hands grabbing under her arms, and the band supporting the skirt is strapping a twin baby to her back. This baby is wearing an angular headpiece, and its head is facing the left side of the piece. The woman is seated on a platform that is held up by a blue pentagonal headpiece with what appears to be white tassels on each side. Coming from the back of the headpiece, there is a tail-like piece that has zigzag edges. This strip of wood goes behind the man sitting, all the way under his seat. The man underneath this headpiece has smaller facial features than the woman that are depicted in a similar style. He is wearing a strap across his chest, and he sits on a horse, holding the reins. This animal is wearing a kind of geometric mask over its face that attaches to a saddle where we see the man's feet resting. Behind the figures, facing away from the woman and the man, there are smaller figures, measuring about 1 foot. They all have bits of blue and white pigments that have mostly worn away. There are 4 figures behind the woman and 4 behind the man. The 2 behind the female's right side are men facing the back and stacked on top of one another. They are wearing trapezoid-shaped headpieces, standing and holding weapons that are resting near their feet. Next to them, behind the woman's left side, 2 more stacked figures are facing the left side of the piece. The one on the top is a woman and is blue. She is standing with her hands holding her chest. Underneath her, there's a seated figure which is biting its fingers in a nervous manner. Behind the main masculine figure, the smaller figures are stacked in a similar fashion to those above them. These 4 figures are all facing the left side of the piece. The 2 behind the man's head are a woman and a man consecutively. They are both kneeling. The woman holds her chest, and the man has his left hand up at his chin. His right hand holds his left elbow. The 2 at the bottom of this post are also a woman and a man. The woman holds objects near her waist, possibly instruments. The man is holding 2 swords at his waist, which are long enough to reach his shoulders. The label gives us more insight into the symbolic power of this piece. The woman and man are showing important complementary roles of men and women. Together, they ground the chief's household. More generally, they ground Yoruba society, as suggested by the many warriors, women, and animals surrounding them. This sculpted veranda post from southwestern Nigeria is rich in imagery associated with the Yoruba, one of the largest and most prolific art-producing groups in Africa. This sculpture is a visual statement of the symbolic power of men and women in Yoruba society. A seated female with twin offspring, one resting in her lap, the other strapped to her back, dominates the upper section, which celebrates the nurturing power of women. Among the Yoruba, who have extremely high rate of twin births, twins are seen as blessings and omens of good fortune. The lower section portrays a powerful male figure with fly whisk in hand, astride a horse, an artistic convention denoting authority and prestige. The secondary figures behind him, which include a man with 2 knives and 2 women, herald his arrival. Other secondary figures depict musicians, religious specialists, and devotees, all forming part of Yoruba community life. The strong geometric shapes of this veranda post reveal the distinctive hand of Yoruba master sculptor Agunna from Ibira in southwestern Nigeria, whose career spanned the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Recognized today as a carver of great originality, Agunna influenced a generation of artists carving for royal patrons. This house post decorated the entrance porch of a kingly residence in the Ikiti region of Nigeria, where Agunna lived and worked.